Hello and welcome to a short video overview on the integration between Skynamo and Sage X3. My name is Sara and I'm a field sales rep for Basil Chocolates. First, let's start on the welcoming screen of the Skynamo app. I've started my workday of visiting customers and taking orders, and as you can see, I've been at it for just over 3 hours and have not yet started travelling, and you can see here I've got a visit goal and an order goal, and I've been doing really well on achieving these so far this month. Here we can see my timeline listing my previous visits, interactions, ordering history and everything else I've been up to in the field. Now I'm off to visit a customer and take an order. Here you see my list of customers that have pulled through from the integration between Skynamo and Sage X3. And we see that Sweet Cuts Wholesale is 1.77 miles away. I'm off to visit them. As I click on this particular customer, you can see that there's a clear sales overview showing, for instance, targets versus invoices. And you can see at the moment, for August, I've got 12,000 as my target. And if I click the blue bar, we see the invoiced amount so far. This information is pulled in real time from Sage X3 straight onto my mobile device. Here we can access the contacts at this number, Alan Cutts, who I'm going to see. I can also go ahead and call him directly from the Skynamo app if needed. Each customer has their own timeline. I can drill in and refresh myself of this customer's history and relationship. I see there was a competitor survey form filled in the last time I was there, and you can see that there's some competitor brands in store. I want to remind myself of the picture I took, so I enlarge it. I also want to have a look at any meetings, tasks or schedules coming through from Outlook, as well as a wealth of Sage information relating to this customer. Important information like default warehouse price lists, stat groups, whether it's the delivery address, whether there's an authorized credit limit, Sage total credit amounts, and so on. All this information can be pulled through from Sage X3 specific to your setup. So let's place that order. I'm going to start a visit, and while I'm here, I'll take another photograph of some of the competitor information to save for later. I'm choosing to place the order through a particular warehouse that is in our Sage X3 setup, and I'm going to click into the product catalogue. I prefer to do the order via the product catalogue as it displays each product with all its relevant information and product image. I can quickly and easily filter these to have a look at different products. Stopping at dark raspberry chocolate 45 grams, you can see the specific price per unit and that we have 142 left in the warehouse. I'm going to place an order for 10 of these. I can also use the search function and search specifically for brands of chocolate or names. In this case, I'm going to search for orange. There they are. Let's go ahead and order 50 of these. And then finally, let's search for plain milk chocolate. Let's place an order for 40 of these. Having completed the full order, I'm going to save it. If I need to, I can then go individually into line items and organize specific discounts. From the integration with Sage, it will also tell me the lowest prices that I can sell these products for. So let's check out on this order. Before I do, I'd like to leave a voice-to-text delivery instruction. Please could we deliver this on Monday next week? Then let's add a reference number and the customer can sign on glass to confirm the order. And then we finalize by clicking the blue finalize button. Looking back at our timeline, you can see that our order is already time-stamped and is going to be administered and pushed into Sage X3. We are done with this call and I'm ready to move on to the next customer. Back on my welcome page, my orders and goals have already been updated and I'm ready for the next visit. On the back office timeline, we can see the order that we just placed on the app, as well as the visit information with the photograph that we took and the comment we entered. Clicking on the customer name, we can look at their specific timeline and dashboard. Once customized, you can see the number of visits, the order value, invoice value, and other data relating to this customer specifically. Clicking back to the customer timeline, we see the order here. Clicking it, we can see the full order as placed, showing the information transiting between the mobile device and the back office. Before we continue over to Sage X3 to see how this order was administered there, let's have a quick look at the reports features. As you can see, there's a wealth of different reports that Skynamo offers. Let's have a look at Call Report as an example. One of the users is Brian. Let's see what he was up to on Wednesday. Here we see that Brian had a fantastic day and successfully completed 5 visits in his area and completed 17 forms. We can also see that Brian travelled 8.7 miles with his orders totalling £1,396. So now, let's head back to the Skynamo timeline to see if Sage X3 has processed our order and replied with a comment. Here we see that the order is now successfully integrated into Sage X3 with a reference number. Heading over to Sage X3, we can see the order and the order number. We can review the order line entries, allocate the stock, and the invoice can be created. Once the invoice is created, it will pull back into Skynamo, confirming a successful order and invoice has been submitted. Let's see how this works. Heading back over to Skynamo and refreshing the timeline, we see that the successful invoice notification has arrived. We can check it again by hovering over the invoice, showing the line items once again. This completes the full order integration from placing the order on Skynamo through to invoicing and allocating in Sage X3. And it's all available right here on the timeline for review at any time. And there you have it. Thank you for watching this Sage X3 integration demo for Skynamo.